The tale of our champion, Desert God, began on the outskirts of Bangalore, at the oldest continuous breeding operation in the world, the Kunigal stud. India's champion stallion Burden of Proof had one void in his trophy cabinet. In spite of winning more than 60 crores in stakes, he was yet to sire a winner of the Indian Derby. A Blue Hen Dam in Running Flame seemed to be his most promising classic option, as she had produced multiple classic black types and Derby winners. The result of this nick was a late April lanky chestnut colt who was destined to be counted as one of the all-time greats of the sport. Radiant Bloodstock, owned by Sharmila and Paddy, were very pleased indeed with the colt that they had bred. At the age of 2, Desert God was shipped off to the Bangalore Turf Club and stepped into the yard of his breeder, owner and now trainer, Paddy. Little did he know that he was about to create history. Paddy's old friend, Colonel Swapam Badra, was offered a leg, and Desert God's racing career was on its way. Desert God was bred to stay, and as is wont with most champions, he came into his own in time for the Bangalore Summer Derby, where he was a close second, but proved that he would relish the longer trips. He was immediately identified as the best of his crop and travelled to Hyderabad and Calcutta en route to Mumbai, where the Derby at each centre was at his mercy. The string of victories that Desert God put together across the country were nothing short of spectacular. Paddy has an affinity for the Group 1s, and David Allen's ethereal partnership with Desert God saw this horse flourish and sensationally claim his rightful place in the record books. We take you on a trip across the subcontinent, from east to west and back down south, as Desert God broke records, amassed a legion of die-hard fans, and created racing history. So coming around the home turn now and moving up on the outside, Columbiana throws out the challenge to Colors, but in behind now, Desert God getting to the outside and starting to sprout rings down the outer, followed then by Let the Lion Roar. As they come inside the final furlong now, Columbiana in front, leads by 2 lengths, but here in full flight is Desert God down the outside, absolutely flying late, punched right out Columbiana, trying to hold on, but grabbed by Desert God, who goes home the better. And Desert God gets up for a big win. Beats Columbiana and Colors, followed by Let the Lion Roar. Going around the home turn in the Deccan Derby, and up on the outside now, Cameron has raced up to take a narrow lead, followed then by Dazzling Bay, and Woman of War is just behind them. And now taken to the outside, Desert God by David Allen is moving up to throw out the big challenge. Cameron in front, but now grabbed immediately by Desert God on the outside, who sticks his neck in front and now starts to power away. They've drawn clear of Dazzling Bay, Woman of War and Royal Seal, but in the run home there's only one winner, and it's Desert God, owned, trained, bred by Paddy, and a triumph for all as David Allen brings Desert God to an easy win. Rounding the home turn in the Calcutta 2000 Guineas, and it's set aflame on the inside, a narrow leader. From on the outside, poised now, Desert God moving into it stylishly, followed then by Multitude. Further back then, Romantic Magic and Cool Hunter. They straighten up for home now. He says, go on, Desert God. Looms up now to throw out the big challenge to set aflame, and now starts to race away. It's Desert God who's punched right out, fighting back on the inside, set aflame, then Multitude running on very late. But up towards the line, it's all Desert Gods now starting to assert his authority. He goes on to win it well. Multitude leads them down to the turn in the Calcutta Derby, and length and a half nicely clear too. Poised behind them, Desert God trying to find a way through here on the inside as they round the turn, and it's Multitude in front. In second place is Romantic Magic out after the leader. Now starting to see daylight, Desert God taken to the outside and starting to race after this leader. He goes for Multitude. Multitude in front, but pounced on immediately by Desert God. Desert God ranges up, now puts his nose in front, now starts to go a length clear, now two, and drawing right away. Set Aflame is starting to run on very late, but Desert God wins the Calcutta Derby. A major triumph. In the gates and racing in the Indian Derby, and one of the first away is B52. Bull Runners up there too in the early stages. Columbiana also searching for a handy posse, and Phoenix Tiger just behind them as they round the first turn, and they're 5, 6, 7 deep as they round the corner and head up the side of the course. On settling down, and B52 finds his way to the front and leads from Bull Run. Columbiana has got into a very handy position as well. Also up there too in the early stages, Phoenix Tiger. They're followed then by Costa del Sol, who's not that far away. Further back in the field then is Desert Lord, and then Myrtlewood is back in the field. Brilliant Cut is back there as well. Desert God is now trying to find a handy posse, but they're going like scolded cats out in front in this Indian Derby. It's a helter-skelter up front, and back in the middle of the pack there, Desert God looking for a handy posse in the early stages. Gestapo is well back and giving them a long start as they race up towards the corner at the far end of the track, and B52 is up there in company with Columbiana. Also there is Airco, who's got into a handy place as well. Costa del Sol is just behind them, and further back then is Desert God, who's now working into a much closer position on the inside. Further back in the field too is Phoenix Tiger as they still around that turn now and head towards the farthest point of the course in this Indian Derby. And still the leader out in front is Columbiana, leads by a couple of lengths to Airco. Costa del Sol is a very handy third. Desert God is now starting to weave his way into the picture, about 5 horses off the rail. You can see his white face there, the pink cap and the green jacket. He's checked for a run there as they come around the home turn. Back on the inside, Columbiana leads for home now by a length and a half. On the outside, Costa del Sol now starting to get into the clear, and they're looking for a way through as Desert God. He's now starting to weave a passage. He needs a needle eye opening, and he's getting it too. It's Costa del Sol being tackled by Phoenix Tiger, but now Desert God down the outside. Myrtlewood with a powerful burst as well. Myrtlewood has now raced up on the outside. Desert God though going with him stride for stride. Desert God on the inside, a neck in front as they race to the line now. Desert God has won the Derby from Myrtlewood, and then Gestapo and Phoenix Tiger.
It is more important that I bred and own this horse, because that's a very rare feat in any part of the world. For this, I have to be very grateful to Dr. Malya, the chairman of USL and UBL, for giving me a free nomination to Burden of Proof.
We didn't have any doubt about his stamina, but Bombay seemed to ignore us. They thought, their local horses were much better, but he proved that he stayed and how.
In the gate, they're off and running in the Indian Turf Invitation Cup over 2,400 metres. And in the early stages, it's Smart Strider who's starting to move up on the outside to grab a narrow lead on settling down from Shivalik Showers. They're going stride for stride as they race towards the first bend. Further back in the field then is Heaven Is Here, who's starting to move up into a prominent position as well. Now let's have a look at the fancied horses back in the ruck. It's Desert God settling in about 5th or 6th position on the inside. Be Safe is in about 7th or 8th, giving them a start. And Quasar has now moved up into 4th on the inside. As they settle down, and it's Smart Strider who shows the way. It leaves by 3 parts of a length from Heaven is Here, the outer. A length further back then is Chivalric Showers. They're 4 lengths in advance now of Quasar, who's nicely settled 4th on the inside. They're clear then of Blazing Touch, who's up on the outside of Desert God as they continue their run up the side of the course. Well back is Costa del Sol giving them a start. Be Safe is a long way from the lead, about 8 or 10 lengths at this early stage, followed then by Angel Dust, then Dare to Dream and New Alliances out the back. As they round that corner though and race up the back of the course, and showing the way here on the inside is Smart Strider by a length or so to Heaven is Here. 2 lengths away then is Chivalric Showers the outside. 2 lengths further back then Quasar, the red cap on the inside in 4th. In 5th then is the Blazing up on the outside, Blazing Touch, and then Desert God on the inner. They're 2 lengths in advance of Be Safe, is now starting to pull his way into the picture in about 7th or 8th position on the outside. Well back is Costa del Sol. Angel Dust, also Dare to Dream is back there with New Alliance as they race up the side of the course now, and Smart Strider coming back to them. Here come the challengers. Heaven is Here takes a narrow lead, but here's Quasar on the outside. They're followed by Chivalric Showers moving into it, and Desert God is poised behind them and being followed through by Be Safe. They race up towards the judge now, less than 400 to go, and the 3 champs have all seen daylight. They've got plenty of room to move here as Quasar in front. Desert God throwing out the challenge. They've kicked away from Be Safe, the big 3, the Indian 3, the Indian trio. They're 1, 2 and 3 with 100 yards left to go, and on the outside Desert God, he's prevailing, and Desert God goes on to beat Quasar. In 3rd place is Be Safe, followed by Angel Dust, and further back is Costa del Sol. Then New Alliance, Heaven is Here, followed by Blazing Touch, Chivalric.
Well, once again, I first thank God for His blessings. To me, in heaven there is God, and on earth there is Desert God. I congratulate Paddy for his great performance, and also David for a fantastic piece of riding.
I don't think there was any doubt I would have not rode him. As long as that leg was going into boot, I was going to ride him. And he's been expertly trained, turns up for the big races in peak form, and does most of my work for me. All I have to do is put him in the straight and the firing line, and he'll battle very hard and give everything he's got.